So depending on the age, the location of tumors also have a slight higher predilection. So it is not like infants will have only supratentorial tumors, not like that. It is just that infants will have supratentorial tumors more than the infratentorial. Children are known to have infratentorial more than the supratentorial, or the posterior fossa tumor is more. Late childhood and adolescence have equal predisposition. Both supra and infratentorial tumors can be seen. Infratentorial tumors, as you can know, it is the brainstem, pons, medulla. So, among the infratentorial tumors, medulloblastoma forms the chunk or forms the majority of tumors. Medulloblastoma is an aggressive, highly malignant tumors. So, if it's an infratentorial tumor, first in your mind should be medulloblastoma, followed by astrocytoma, ependymomas, and finally brainstem glioma. Brainstem glioma has the worst prognosis of all the brain tumors. Okay, so infratentorial tumors in the order of its occurrence, first will be medulloblastomas, astrocytomas, ependymomas, and brainstem gliomas. Coming to the supratentorial tumors. Supratentorial tumors can be seen in the hemispheres, that is, most of them are astrocytomas, predominantly low-grade astrocytomas. It can be seen in the chiasmal region, that is in the optic chiasmal region. So, optic gliomas are there. Craniopharyngiomas involving the pituitary gland are present. Pineal region tumors. So, supratentorial tumors predominantly it is astrocytoma, followed by the rest of other tumors. So, symptoms of these brain tumors actually depend on the location of the tumor, isn't it? So, if it is present in the hemisphere, the symptoms vary. If it is present in the brainstem, the symptoms are going to be different. If it is going to obstruct the CSF pathway, it is going to cause hydrocephalus or the raised ICP like symptoms. So, mostly when we have cases, which is very rare, as general pediatricians or as the primary care pediatricians are receiving a child with a primary brain tumor is going to be very rare. But non-specific symptoms are the ones which are going to begin with. The child could have some vague headache, some vomiting, or the child is not eating well, very tired looking child, some behavioral abnormalities can be there, squint can be there. So, these are all very non-specific symptoms. So, they begin with these non-specific symptoms, and then depending on the location, it then becomes localized. So, this localized can be either a CSF obstructive symptoms. If it is a midline tumor, it is going to be a short period. If it is going to be in the hemisphere, it is going to be in the long. So, when you have a child, I am going to talk about the red flag signs here, but when you get a child with some non-specific symptoms, follow them and always have very high vigilance in such children. So, headache, do not just ignore the symptom of headache or the child not performing well in the school or a new onset squint or strabismus, very, very important. So, such subtle symptoms or subtle signs should never be missed. Just remember, if it is in the hemisphere or if it is a very low grade tumor, the symptoms are going to be present for weeks together or months together. If it is in the midline area, if it is in the midline tumor, it is going to be a short period. It is going to cause obstructive symptoms, vision disturbances, squint, etc. So, short period of symptoms if it is a midline tumor. So, this is a slide which is explaining to you about the 4 constellation of symptoms. Whatever we have seen in the previous slide, I have put it in a different format. So, what are these constellation of symptoms? So, if it is there in the hemisphere, most probably it is a localizing symptoms, but it is present for weeks together. So, initially it can start as headache and then it starts to throw seizures. So, child is starting to have seizures. The child can have neuropathies, the child can have vision disturbances. These are all localizing signs. Non-localized signs, I just told you, it could be headache in the initial part, some vague or slight headache can be there, or a very tired child, excessively sleepy, not doing well in school. Next is the raised ICP symptoms. So, child could have headache, severe headache, morning headache with projectile vomiting, papilledema on examination and vomiting. Coming to the endocrine symptoms. So, if it is present in the pituitary, pineal region, it presents as endocrine abnormality. So, either the child can have DI. So, any child with diabetes insipidus, we do an MRI brain, isn't it? So, endocrine disturbances first is DI. Then the child could have short stature. So, when you follow up a child is not growing well, again we also evaluate in short stature, we always do a MRI brain. Finally, it could be a puberty related symptoms. Either most often we get a precocious puberty, sometimes even delayed puberty can also be there. So, this is the 4 constellation of symptoms. For exam sake, you can remember this and it is very easy for you to write down in your theory fast.